before I did share this information with everyone, I actually had a few, shall we say, near misses. Me and my mates went to Amsterdam in the Netherlands. It was absolutely brilliant. One of the best weekends of my life. And I say that hand on heart, even though I was the stag and I was meant to be, as a stag, you're sort of meant to be, shall we say, embarrassed, humiliated. There's a little bit of that, but it was pretty well balanced. And I've got to say, it was so well executed. It was well choreographed. Itinerary was very, very on point. These guys know me very well. I've been friends with these guys for pretty much as early as I can remember. And it included stuff such as, we went to like a beer brewery, quite a famous beer that's produced in the Netherlands or in Amsterdam is called Heineken. Many of you Europeans and people from the UK will know of this beer. I'm not sure how popular it is in America or even if it is something available in America. Let me know in the comments box below. It'd be really interesting to know about that one because I'm genuinely curious. So we did that. We went on a boat tour as well. That was fantastic. They had this massive crate of beers in the middle of the boat. There were 2 other stag parties on it. It was almost like the boat party was like tailored for stag do's. It was absolutely incredible. We ended up going to a lot of pubs, a lot of bars and that kind of thing. We did the old coffee shop as well. That was an experience. So we really immersed ourselves in the full Amsterdam experience. It's my favourite city in Europe. As I said, my friends know me very well. They were like, where does Adam want to go? It's got to be Amsterdam, hasn't it? So yeah, absolutely fantastic holiday. There were a few occasions where, as I mentioned earlier, my cover could have been blown. So I noticed on day 1 that I had a lift on my system. Now, I spoke about this in an earlier video actually, about what happens when you get a lift. And the most obvious thing to do is, if your hairline is exposed, and it was exposed at the time, just push your hair down. Just don't expose your hairline anymore, okay? And that's what I did. I just pushed it down. It wasn't a problem. I don't think anyone even noticed. At least no one said they noticed anyway. Obviously, what I did though when I did get back, so we were out at the time, I think we were in a bar, but what I did when I got back, it might be the next morning actually, I got up a little bit early and I just went to the bathroom because I was sharing with one of my buds, and I went into the bathroom and I just got my Ghost Bond out and I had like a Q-tip and I literally just dabbed on the bit where there had been a lift and left it for a few minutes in the bathroom, completely, private and subtle. And then I just pushed it down and it was fine. It was fine for the rest of the holiday, it just shows, guys, like we should never, ever, ever worry about when we go on holiday, because the solutions are so easy. Unless someone literally rips the system off your head, the solutions are easy to implement. They're subtle, they don't take a lot of time. Usually the main problem is you might get a lift, okay? And it's such an easy thing to fix. Obviously, if you're out, you can't fix a lift in the moment. You can try and press it back down. That works quite a lot of the time. If that doesn't work, just put your hair down at the front, so don't expose your hairline. And then when you get a chance, preferably when you're back at your hotel, just for 5 minutes, go to the bathroom. You don't need any alcohol, you don't need any C22, you just need a little bit of Ghost Bond, maybe a Q-tip, and just dab it where the lift is, leave it for a few minutes and then press it down. It really is that easy. It's not rocket science. So please don't get worried about that kind of stuff, because you really don't need to be concerned about that. That's a very, very easy solution. There's another moment on day 2 or 3 when there was just this sudden downpour, and it just started pouring out of nowhere, rain just going crazy. And I remember in my earlier days thinking of wearing hair systems, I was thinking, rain, this is bad. This means the bond is going to become so loose that the hair system is going to become loose and come off. It's not the way it is. I actually seem to remember when the rain was happening. I say I seem to remember, I was fairly drunk for like most of the 3 days we were there, but I do remember this fairly clearly. I remember actually having my hair up, right? And I was talking to one of my friends, had my hair up, and at no point was I like, yeah, there's going to be a lift here. And even if there was, I would have known what to do. I'd have just pushed it down. And also, we always overly scrutinise our own hairline compared to the amount of scrutiny that other people give it. We over scrutinize as hair system wearers. It's something which I am a lot better at now. I'm not perfect, but I'm a lot better at. But I always encourage my guys, you guys on this channel, to basically not worry about it so much, because other people aren't worrying about it, so you needn't worry about it. On the last day, day 3, I basically made the decision that I wanted to be honest with my friends. It's not because I felt like I was lying to them or I was being dishonest, but I just felt it would be a little bit of a weight off of my shoulders, basically. Just a nice weight off my shoulders. And it was almost like a bit of an experiment as well, to just gauge the kind of reaction, because a lot of people ask me, should I tell my other half? Should I tell my friends? Should I tell my colleagues and stuff? And I always say, it's your decision. It's absolutely your decision. But I've got to say, I was pleasantly surprised. Now, I have, there are people who have commented on my videos before that have had quite negative reviews. They are very much in the minority. I'd say probably maybe like 1 to 2 out of every 10 experiences I hear of when people are honest about their hair system. 1 or 2 out of 10 are negative. The others are either indifferent or positive, saying like, well done for being honest about this. I think this looks great on you. If it improves your confidence, that's awesome, basically. You do you. Do what makes you feel better about yourself, which is what I always promote on this video. That's what it's about, guys. So we're sitting down, we're having a beer, it was the final day, and I said, look, guys, I want to be honest about you. I want to be honest with you about something. And a couple of my guys, right, they've known me since I was like single digits, right? So like one was since I was 4, another since I was 7. So a couple of them already knew I had my hair pulling condition, but I think they just assumed it had just gone away rather than I'd actually implemented something to sort of solve the problem. But I said, look, I explained the trichotillomania, the hair pulling condition, and I said to them, look, I found a solution and this is it. And a couple of the guys were like, I was going to say your hair looks so much better than it did 5, 6, 7 years ago. It looks thicker, it looks fuller, it looks shinier, it looks healthier. You look younger, because some of them do remember me with the bald patches, which looked ridiculous back in the day. The others didn't, but they're all pretty supportive. I explained it, I was transparent about it, and as a couple of you will have seen on one of the posts that I did, there are a couple of bald guys who are my mates, some of my best buds, and even they were like, yeah, it looks good. And one of them was saying, he was like, I've always considered getting a hair transplant. I was like, mate, you should consider getting a hair system. So I don't know, we'll see what happens with that. We will see what happens. Another one, I think he's sort of more comfortable about going bald, which is absolutely fine, as long as he feels good in himself about it, like as long as we feel good in ourselves about wearing a system. That's what that matters. It's about self-esteem, feeling good about yourself, and confidence. Now, that's not to say that some point down the line, when we're at a pub or whatever, that someone might, make a joke about it or whatever. I don't really mind that too much, as long as it's not facetious. I'm fine with a bit of banter. That's okay. It doesn't bother me, as long as it doesn't become actually personal and facetious. And I don't think it will. I think a couple of things to consider are, when you're telling people about this, you need to make sure it's people that you trust, people you've known for a while, and people who you kind of feel fairly confident that the response won't be one of humiliation or mocking or anything like that. They'll actually take it seriously, and they'll respect the reasons behind your decision, which are usually to improve your self-esteem, to help you work on improving your anxiety and that kind of thing. So what I would say, based on my experience, is be as transparent as possible. Explain your reasons for getting a hair system, and explain how it's made you feel and how it's improved your sense of self-worth, your sense of self, your confidence, your happiness, your ability to maybe socialize more than you used to when you're experiencing hair loss. So guys, I thought I'd share that with you because I think it was a bit of a seminal moment for me. So yeah, really important. Glad I did it. It's something actually I would say to, if you feel comfortable enough doing it and you feel that the people you're going to tell, you trust them, I'd say go for it. If it takes that weight off your mind, I would say go for it. So what do you think, guys? Has this increased the chances of you possibly being more honest about your hair system with, people in your life? Have you been feeling quite scared up until this point, a bit nervous about what the reaction might be, whether you might get lampooned or mocked or whatever? Let me know in the comments box below. It'd be really good to hear your thoughts. If you are enjoying my content, please do like and subscribe it, because the bigger that this channel gets, the more videos I will do and the better the content will get. Because the more subscribers and likes that I get, the more videos I can do. You might have also noticed I've got a new camera, so it's a higher spec, and that is because the channel is growing. And as a result of it growing, it means I can invest more time and more finances into getting better equipment and doing more content for you guys. As a bonus for those of you who have stuck to the end of this video, up on the screen right now, how to deal with the heat in a hair system. Plenty of advice, tips, solutions, so do check that out next. I'll speak to you very soon, guys. Bye for now.